Hey everybody, my name is Matt Fisher. Sorry that I can't be in your class tonight. I've kind of double booked myself, and I have a class that I'm teaching myself here in the studio tonight. But I've been to this class, LIS654, over the last couple of years, and I've always enjoyed presenting to them. And so I hope to be able to kind of just share with you some of the tools that we have here in the studio so that you can use them for your future teaching in libraries. So we'll go ahead and we'll start the presentation here. So how do we do this here? Here we go. So hey, my name is Matt Fisher. I work here in Teaching Resources Center. A little background on me: I was studying marine biology in college, but I got seasick all the time, so I had to switch careers pretty soon after I graduated. um, it's middle school teacher. I taught science, math, and geography. I then went on to some other jobs, academic publishing or educational publishing. And then I was an art and technology summer camp director here at UNCG. And then in 2014, I came over to the school of ed, and they were opening up this makerspace, and I was just in the right place at the right time. And I've had the great honor and opportunity to be able to work in this space with all of our students here in the school of ed. So we do run a bunch of programs in here. One of the programs we run here in the studio is our Maker in Residence program. Oh my gosh, I'm wearing the same shirt that I'm wearing in that picture. Yes, this picture was taken about 5 years ago. And so these students are volunteers. Mostly they used to be just education students, but now we've opened up the program to students from all over. So this semester we have makers in residence that are computer science, biology, communications, fashion, LIS, library information studies, and education. And what they do is they come into the studio and they're able to learn how to use all of the different tools. And then we start thinking about how you would work and apply them into teaching. Um, and so it's been a good program over the last couple of years, and we are actually going to turn this class, or I'm sorry, this program into a course starting in fall of 2023, and it'll be an undergraduate course for making. So there's that opportunity out there as well. Here's what the studio looks like if you were actually in the studio. Whoops. Let me go back here. Sorry. If you're actually in the studio, you would actually see that we have lots of different tools all over. When you came in the room, we've got tools such as we have Book Creator, which we'll talk about. We've got lots of digital tools. We've got a whole set of computer equipment to check out, technology, robotics. There's a whole wall of art supplies. We've got a laser engraver, 3 doodlers. I'm almost sitting in the same spot too. There I am here. Here I am here. We've got escape room, breakout boxes, a Cricut machine, green screen, 3D printers. You can build with things as simple as straws and connectors. We do a lot of mask making, and puppetry, sewing. Really, so if you just came in and said, "Hey, Matt, I want to work on this project. These are the concepts that I want to teach." What we can do is we can help you figure out what's the right tool for you to kind of teach that subject to your students. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the projects and resources that we have here in the studio. Oh, and just to point out, you see this picture here with this, I was thinking about this the other day. This is one of our students probably back in like 2015, and she decided she was really hot when she was walking home from class, and so she invented this device using this tool called Little Bits, where she strapped fans onto her backpack, and so they would blow air on her when she's walking. And I saw these all over the last 2 summers, and so I think we were ahead of the game. I don't maybe she did go on and invent that. I don't know, but we were first. We were the first. So the first tool we'll talk about today is green screen. And so the green screen app that we use here in the studio is called DoiNK, DoiNK. The beauty of green screen is you can transport your students anywhere in the world, right? They can go onto Mars, they can go into a storybook, you can put them inside the human body, and you can even make small stop motion videos with like Legos. You can see like the little duck here is on like a miniature green screen. So we have, it's very simple to use. It takes about 5 minutes to learn how to use it. And then you can create videos to present to your class, or even when you get, if your classroom management skills are pretty good and you can manage a lot of kids moving around the classroom, you can actually have them create green screen videos as well. All the iPads that we have here in the studio and in the TRC, the library, you're able to check them out. They have a green screen application on them. Plus, we have green screens that you can check out as well. Another program that we have is stop motion. Stop motion, you might have also referred to it as claymation, where you design a model, and then you could take a small piece of clay, let's say, and move it slowly through the model. Right, we just did it in class today, right before I was leading this, recording this lesson, where we made just stop motion videos with little toys, just to give the students a feel for like how the program works. Again, there's a free version of this app that you can download. The paid version is maybe like $3 or $4. It has a few more bells and whistles, but it's very simple to use. Right, a lot of the tools that we do use in here, there's a very low barrier to get to using them. But what you can make with them is pretty endless. Let me see if this link works here to show you what the stop motion video would look like. Right, and so this is a video of the blood cell moving through the heart. This was made by some high school students a couple years ago. We were doing a lesson on the human body, circulatory system. So they had created a stop motion video of the blood moving through the heart. All right, wonderful. All right, so let's keep moving here. The next tool I'll tell you about is called Book Creator. I mentioned this a few minutes ago. Book Creator is, I like to think of this as a simpler version of PowerPoint. If you ever use PowerPoint with your students, sometimes they get really overwhelming with a lot of the options and the menu options that are included into PowerPoint. Kids know how to use it, but you can get lost in here. Book Creator kind of cuts that down, and it actually makes digital books that you can publish online, and it packages them very nicely. I'll bring up one of the books here. I'll bring it up in my screen. And this book I made is called What Will You Create? We made this at a time when it was over COVID, and we had to do everything digitally. And so I made this as part of an escape room that we had here, digital escape room. So you can see, you can put pictures, you can put text, you can put audio, you can put animations or videos in your Book Creator, as you can see there. There you go. And you can record your own audio. Like, I don't know if you can hear this. If I click this here, so I can hear it in my ears. I don't know if I recorded my my sound, but you can record your own voice as part of your book as well. This is a free app. And what's great as a teacher, you can use this app as a classroom, and you can kind of monitor your students' work. You can have a teacher account, and you can have up to 30 books in a library. And so your students kind of create books in that library that you provide for them. So check out Book Creator. It's a good tool to use. Oh, sorry there. We've got breakout rooms. As mentioned before, in our studio, we've got these things called breakout boxes. I'll show you what they look like over here. Can I zoom in on this? Let me see. No, I can't. Oh, wait. Ooh, look at that. I can. And if I click on this, you'll see, so this is what the breakout box looks like. So it says you can create physical or digital escape rooms for your future classroom. We have several kits to check out, and you can work with the self-design studio to design your game. in the past, we were doing digital games at a time when we were all locked down for COVID. But as you can see on the breakout box here, you've got the box, you've got a series of locks. And then what you do is you make up puzzles, and the combinations of these locks correspond to the answers to the puzzles. So for example, this puzzle here is about where the wild things is. It says roaring their roars and gnashing their teeth, rolling their eyes, claws underneath. Look at the teeth and you will find letters are scramble. When's rumpus time? And you can actually see this monster up here that we made. When you unscramble these letters, it spells the word night, right? And so one of the combinations of the locks might be the word night. Let's see where that's going. And you can actually create your own games. We have access to a platform called Breakout EDU. You can also get a free subscription to that, a free membership to that website, and you can have access to lots of free games created by other teachers. When you pay for the program, when you pay for a subscription, you actually get access to all of the games that are on the website that are created by the folks at Breakout EDU. And I do think when you subscribe and you get a membership, they actually, as part of your membership, they give you a breakout box kit. So you get the box, you get locks, and lots of other things that go along with that. All right, so you can check that out. And we have boxes here that you can check out. Like if you wanted to create your own game and come in and make it, we have several breakout boxes that you can check out and bring to your classroom. There's also virtual escape rooms. For example, let me see if I can show you one of these games here. This is a game that we made called World Traveler, the World Traveler game show. All right. And you kind of see how this works. So you've got a couple different types of locks. You got letter, color, shape locks, directional, number, and color locks here. So if you can see inside the game here, it says, "Welcome to Australia. You start by sending postcards to your mother to tell her about the marsupials you'll discover. Good day, mate." Right? And you can see you got a little picture here. You can expand the clue out. And there's a little postcard here. It says, "Hey, Mom, I'm so glad I took this trip. I had been feeling so..." Hey, why is blue highlighted there? Blue lately. This really picked me up. Can't wait to tell you about all the adventures I've had. Love, Pablo. Sent to Mama Picasso. And so you look at the letters here, and you got like surfs up everybody, music everywhere, hop back into the outback, swim with me when you are here. But then you look, all these, this is blue, so why would that be blue? Oh, but there's some letters that are blue. And then if we go back here, this is oh, it's a letter combination. So if I look at the letters, maybe I got to take the blue letters and unscramble them to the word wombat, which are found in Australia. Boom. I just solved that puzzle, right? So there's lots of different puzzles that you can create and solve digitally. So in a lot of schools here in Greensboro, all the students are one-to-one with Chromebooks. So it would be totally possible for you to create an escape room and kind of send it out to the students, and they can kind of play them either in groups or individually as part of your educational program or library program, if you will. All right, so you got virtual breakout rooms. 3D printing, we've got two 3D printers here in the studio, and we can teach you how to both design your own prints on using a program called Tinkercad, and then also to download models from different websites like, for example, Thingiverse, My Mini Factory. The Smithsonian Museum has their whole, a lot of catalogs of 3D models that you can download as well. The pictures that we have here, some of our students had made like 3D models of 3D shapes, and they turned them into puzzles for their students to solve. One of my students was doing a unit on colonialism, and he created a model colonial fort. We've also made teacher tools as well. Like this is a teacher spinner, and the students can spin it and they would answer one of the questions: who, what, where, when, why. Right? So you have access to 3D printers here in the studio. We can definitely teach you how to use them and create prints. Right now, I've got a couple prints running over here. We got a student who printed some fossils, models of fossils. She's going to do a lesson on fossils coming up. All right. But if 3D printers aren't your thing really, and you're more of a hands-on person, you can actually use this 3D printing pen. It's called a 3Doodler. You might have seen these in stores like Michael's, where you've got you take this piece of filament, you put it in the back of the device, and then it heats up, and you literally draw in the air. It hardens after you draw. So we've had students make all sorts of things. This plane was made by one of my students in her first couple of weeks here in the studio. Like she learned how to write her name with it, and then the next thing she's making this airplane. So we have templates that you can use for that. So and we've had students, like I brought it to a school where we were doing stop motion videos, and the students all made little miniature sports equipment as far as for their stop motion video, right? We did a unit where our students created they were doing a unit on the Three Little Pigs, retelling it from the wolf's perspective, and they had to create inventions that the wolf might have used to get into the Three Little Pigs houses. And so they had to model those with the 3Doodler. So I will say this about both the 3D printer and the 3Doodler. The process is pretty slow, right? So it takes patience. 3D printers take anywhere from, you can run a print off in 10 minutes, so some prints take 3-4 hours. 3Doodlers, it's just a process of, it's very tedious, kind of going back and forth, creating your model with layers of plastic. So just keeping that in mind, it is a slow process. We've got a lot of coding tools that we can use here in the studio. One of them is Scratch, and that's a coding tool that's made for children to learn computational thinking or programming. Like here's a program that we made about the state seal of North Carolina. It's led by a carton of milk. If you didn't know that the carton of milk is the official state beverage of North Carolina. And you can see that it'll tell you a little bit about milk, but then it'll also, we programmed this to take you on a tour of the seal of North Carolina, which was part of an escape room that we had created about the state of North Carolina. So you can see we kind of programmed this to kind of move around the state, tell us all about the different symbolism of this seal of North Carolina. You can see it's probably going to go over this last part here, and then I think this is the end if I hit spacebar one more time. Talks about our motto, and then yep, the milk does a little dance, and then I think it's over. Let's see. Yep, press the green flag to start over. And I can show you what this looks like inside here. It looks fairly confusing. You might be looking at this, be like, man, that is way too much for me to consider to do. But it's really not that hard once you start kind of messing around with Scratch, and kind of we start you off doing some basic tutorials such as animate your name. Let me show you one of the projects one of my students just did recently. Let's see here. I wanted to go to my classes, sorry. Let's see. There we go. I think this is her here. Right. So here's Arizona's name. You can see when I click on the different letters here. Oh, sorry, it makes really weird things. I'm not sure what, let's see if I push this one here. Oh, there's the A. Right. So she animates her name. And if I look inside here, you could see how she kind of animated all the different letters of her name. So we start you off with a simple project. There's something not too difficult. Okay. All right, what else we got here? So we got coding tools. Now what you could do, which is very cool, you could take those coding tools, you combine them with this tool called the Makey. And that tool, what it does, it turns anything that's conductive into a keyboard key, right? So you can see how we hook this up to this Play-Doh. Play-Doh is conductive, if you didn't know, and so you can actually play Super Mario Brothers with clay, right? Because it hooks up like a controller. You can see this is Charlotte's poster here. She was doing a poster about Holocaust survivors, and she programmed Scratch to play voices of Holocaust survivors, so that when you touch the different spots on her poster, it was actually the voice of the survivors speaking. as it came out. So it's easy to do. We've also done a lot of haiku and poem work where that you draw a picture, you record your poem, and then when you touch different parts of your picture, it'll say your poem, which is kind of an easy thing to do. So if you're into Scratch and coding and you want to kind of make physical controllers, that would be the tool that you might start with there. Another one we have is CoSpaces, and this is a let's call it, if you're familiar with like Sims, The Sims when you were a kid, and you can kind of create virtual tours or virtual experiences for your students, and they can do the same thing. So this project here was made by one of our makers in resident groups. I assigned them stories. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to see. Is this the one? Let's see. Maybe this one. Let's see if this is it. Nope. Oh, bother. How about it looks like that's the same one. That's fine. I'll show you this one. So this is Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And you could see you kind of create this environment where, right? Yeah. So you can see you can kind of navigate through. And here comes Goldilocks. You ready? Here she comes. There she goes. So you kind of create this story, right, with Goldilocks. Um, but you can really create virtual experiences for lots of things. There's a free version of this tool. You have limited assets that you can use. The paid version has many more assets that you can use. But there are lots of tutorials for CoSpaces that you can go through and learn how to use that tool. But we can also teach you here in the studio too, if that's something you're interested in doing. Okay. Augmented reality, we have a couple different tools that we can use for augmented reality. One of them is called an Osmo. And you can see what you do is you have an iPad, you have this little red mirror at the top, and then you've got these physical pieces that you put down at the bottom. And then what happens, this is the coding app for Osmo. You lay down the pieces, and this is a mirror under this red piece, and it identifies what you have down, and you're able to interact physically with the digital um, application on the iPad. There's a couple different apps we have for this. We have a words app. It's like Hangman, if you're familiar with that game when you were kids. You can make up your own games. There's coding apps. There's a math app. There's drawing apps, and these work really well for if you have stations in your classroom where you can maybe in the morning, several kids are working, playing a game on the Osmo while you're preparing, or if you have a station in your classroom that kids are rotating through. Okay. On top of that, we use this tool that's called Sentiful, and that allows you to create, we'll call them trigger images that'll show you hidden videos or pictures. So for example, I drew this postcard that says hello. I recorded a video and then I attach it with the app, my video to my picture that I drew. And so when someone has the app and they hold the camera on their phone with the app open, it'll let them play that video. Right? And the only way they can see it is with that app that they can see it. So we've done hidden message postcards, we've done book reviews, we do teacher introductions. Like I'll have my students create videos of themselves, then they send home a picture that they can scan. The parents can scan and see the video. Um, we've done where you can explain, like you record yourself doing a math problem, right? And then you take a picture, you pair that picture to the student's work. And then the parents can actually see and hear their student working through that problem. Right? All right, that's augmented reality. And then we have Twine, which is a choose your own adventure creator. And so I'll pull that up in a second here. So you can see what you do is you create digital stories that give the readers choices. So let me pull this up here really quickly and I'll show you how this works here. So, for example, here's a birthday story. When I work with students, the one thing we do is a birthday story because it's easy to write about your birthday. So you can see how we kind of created this little story here. I'll play this one here for you. It says, oh, let me do here. Start here. Let's do here. Test from here. Today's your birthday. What's the first thing you want to do? Do you want to sleep in, eat cake, or open presents? What do you guys think? Oh, great. Let's sleep in. Up. You decide to sleep in and you wake up the next day. You missed your birthday. The end. Let's go back and try that again. Let's go eat some cake. You decide to eat cake and you eat the whole thing. Ugh. And now you're sick. The end, man. All right, it's got to be open presents. Which one do you want to open first? A big present or a small present? Let's do the small one. It's a new watch and it's a time machine. Where do you want to go? Let's go to 1954. Okay. And there, I guess we stopped writing at that part here. What if we go to 2024? Again, that's there. Let's open the big present. Up. There's a dinosaur and it eats you. The end. So you can see kind of where we're going. You can, and this is the map, right, of that story. You can see all of these are dead ends except when you go to the time machine. So that's an easy tool to use if you wanted to either write stories for your students to participate in, or you can actually give it the story to them, give them access to the tool. It's a free website. You teach them how to use it, and then they can create that their own stories. And we can teach you how to do that as well. All right, we got mask making in here. We have a whole series of different templates and masks. They're called low poly masks. We've made masks for Day of the Dead. We've made masks for storytelling. We've got lots of animal masks where teachers will create masks if they're telling, let's say, Aesop's fables. Or we've had a teacher that was creating masks for Greek mythology, right? So we've got a bull mask. We've got skull masks, we've got ram masks, rabbit masks. So they go really well with a lot of myths and fairy tales. Okay. We do a lot of building with cardboard and found treasures. One of the projects we do in here with a lot of our students at first is we give them a little square cardboard. We lay out all the found treasures, which is just a lot of different materials. And they build sculptures based on any topic that you might provide for them. We've had students build skee ball games. We do a lot of collage. And again, this is an example of a sculpture made with just random materials. For example, I might say to them, how do you feel at the beginning of the semester? And then they build a sculpture that represents how they're feeling at the moment. Okay, and here we go. Next, we could do e-textiles, which is integrating electrical components, LEDs, sensors, motors into textile projects. You can see one of the projects we do is we can make these bracelets that light up. So it's a lesson in circuitry, but combining circuitry and artistry, specifically sewing. It's actually it's a little difficult to do, and it's frustrating because if you mess up your stitch, you really got to undo the whole thing and kind of go back and do it again. But there are a lot of applications that you could use for this. We've made puppets that when you close their mouth and open their mouth, the parts of the puppet light up. You build a switch with conductive fabric in the mouth of the puppet. On that same vein, we have Chibitronics or paper circuits, and these are paper circuits. You would use copper tape and LED lights to create circuits on paper. And you can see here we can make happy birthday cards that light up. You can make maps that light up when you touch different spots on them as well. So this is a good tool that you might use. It's actually pretty affordable to use. And we have the tools here that you can check out here in the studio to use that as well. All right. Moving forward, we've got the next tool here is ThingLink, and this is the same tool that we used to create that tour of the studio. You can use, we have these 360-degree cameras here in the studio that you're to borrow, and you literally put it down in the middle. You push a button, it takes a picture, kind of like Google Earth, right, all around you. And then you can put these hotspots on your picture so that, and then the hotspots can open up and you can have videos that play, have text that you might read. Let me see what this one is here. I've got a link here to share. Let's see where this one goes. Let's see. Oh, okay. So this is a tour that we did for Guilford Battleground Park. All right. All right. So if I click here, this will bring us to the next page here. And you can see I can go inside this building. All right. And then you can kind of see around. We have different hotspots for this tour of Guilford Park. All right. Okay. Super simple to use. There's a free version of ThingLink as well that you're able to use. Okay. All right. Next up we've got oh, well, let's just tell you about this one. This link doesn't exist anymore because they shut down the tool that we used it for. But we did one where we made 360-degree tours inside of a cardboard box, and we had made Jackson Pollock's Cardboard Art Studio, where you would click. We built the studio inside of an Amazon box, a miniature version. Put the camera inside of it, took a picture, and you can kind of explore. Like, let's say you're inside the box. We did this for chapter books as well. Each group had a key seed of the book, and they created a diorama inside the book. They put the camera inside of it, took a picture, and then the viewer are actually inside that scene that they have created as well. Okay. And then next, if I was to talk about some other tools we have in here, we talked about Twinery. These are all different tools that we have here in the studio. Little Bits, there's a circuitry kit. Strawbees is a straw and a straw connector kit. We've got lots of different robotics tools, sewing machines, lots of found treasures. In fact, on our website, there is a list of all the different tools and resources that are here in the studio for you to check out as well. All right. If you need to connect with us, you can, our website's make.uncg.edu. We're on, I guess, the platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, as UNCG Self. And then if you want to make an appointment to either come and explore in the studio or borrow some tools, there is a link on our website for reservations that you can kind of put that, make a reservation, come in and use the studio. Again, sorry I'm not with you tonight in your class to answer any of your questions. If you do have questions, feel free to send me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Okay, good luck with the rest of your semester, everybody. Take care.